It is Sunday, June 30th, 2024, and I'm. Okay, so here's the deal. I was gonna work on editing stuff for the beginning of this channel, and, well, I mean, the beginning. I already did the channel trailer or whatever, but the real beginning in a week and a half. So it's like, okay, so I really need to get editing with this and all that, and it shouldn't take too long, but, you know, I need to get on it. Um, I think I should be able to knock out a bunch each weekend. At least that's the plan. Don't know how well it's actually going to go or not. But, so, here's the deal. I wasn't a big fan of, in the channel trailer, how I did the scrolling behind the thing. How end of the plan, that was kind of rushed because I did it all in one day. But I wanted to do something different. And have it kind of be different every time, make it interesting. So, if everything goes according to the plan, like the last 355 videos should all have random scrolling behind them for that. Now, that is because I just spent the last 3 hours or so programming a script that would randomize it. Because when I was going to edit, I was going to look up and make a random number generator and do the math and figure out how that would look. And then my brain said to itself, but scripting. That way you only have to figure out the math once, and then you can use it for forever. And it's like, yes, brain, that's a great idea. But problem, how? So, I've never programmed anything in C# before. Now I have. So I was banging my head against the issue. I was like, oh no, the values aren't updating, and I don't know why. And apparently it's important in C# to put new in front of some things that I mean, that's probably incredibly obvious for everybody who's done more than zero working programs. At that point, I hadn't made a working program in C# yet. This automated randomizer for a plugin for Vegas Pro for video editing was my hello world for C#. So, yeah, no. And why would I go and look up like a YouTube video for top 10 tips you need to know? Nah. I read the documentation to get what I need. And then I skim over the important stuff and I miss it and I don't ever see it again. There's been at least 3 or 4 languages, computer programming languages, that I've just done one thing in, that I've learned enough to do one thing, and that's it. And now this is one of them. So yes, it's a little later than normal. I don't know what the deal is. My coding abilities increase after sunset. Don't know why that is. That doesn't make any sense to me. It was that way all the way through school for any programming projects that I had to do. I kind of tried to turn school projects into programming projects if I could. because it makes me more productive as a person. Or at least I think it does. What's this? Did this make me more productive? Okay, to be fair, over the next year, this is gonna save me tons of time. And yeah, I'm okay. So first of all, I'm probably gonna make changes to it, to make sure that it doesn't go too far. That makes sense. That probably doesn't make too much sense. I'm probably gonna set an upper bound because I don't want it to like whip across from one corner to the other, and randomly it would be allowed to do that. So I'm probably gonna set an upper bound to how far it can go per time, so a speed cap. But we'll see about that. Maybe that's something for later. See, that part I can do. I had a plan about what the program was going to do, and I don't know. I feel like that's like the most important thing when you're programming. Like, it doesn't matter if you know the language. The thing that matters is if you have a plan to get from where you are to where you need to be. And then you just have to break it down into, well, I need to access this. In order to access this, I need to set that. In order to set that, I need to set this. In order to do that, I need to check it to see if it exists. And then there, you just have your program. If you can speak the language and, if you have the documentation. It's basically just like looking up every single word you need to know in a dictionary and trying to speak to somebody in a foreign language, It's a lot easier to do that when you have a sentence in mind to say something, I don't know. Does that make any sense? Even if you're given a dictionary, or even if you know a language, it doesn't do you any good if you don't have an idea of what you want to say. So in programming, it's more important to know what result you want than to know the language. I don't know. I just wanted to make myself feel better. So anyway, yeah. So I finally got it figured out so I can go to bed. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. My programming abilities increase after sunset. It's just a fact. I don't know why. Probably 90% of working code that I've written has happened after sunset. Second of all, I listen to music and talking and all sorts of stuff, YouTube videos, whatever, as background noise all the time. Like, all the time. Like, there is not very much time when I don't have stuff going into my ears. When I'm programming, I can't. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what the deal is. I guess it's just, you'd think that, I don't know, like when I'm doing homework and all that kind of stuff, like when I was back in college, or even, high school and earlier, listening to music helped me concentrate on getting stuff done. But when I'm programming, it just is not good. It's just one thing that my brain doesn't need to handle. And it's kind of interesting when I think about it. When I'm programming, am I using some auditory part of my brain? Not that, well, your brain is kind of segmented into different parts, but why is listening to music when I'm programming one thing too much, when 99% of the time listening to something is helpful? I don't know. I haven't figured that out. maybe the auditory, maybe it is more of a language processing thing. I don't know. I don't know if that actually makes sense or not, but it would make sense that the auditory part of my brain would be involved in the language processing. And if writing computer code is really like speaking in a different language, then maybe that would explain it. But I don't know. That seems a little far-fetched. But anyway, so yeah, I've done a working thing in C# now. Add it to the list, I guess. Oh yeah, so apparently the cousins, or the cousin plus husband, got into town, or got here at 1 in the morning. So I slept on the pull-out couch downstairs. So we went out to brunch before church, or at least we tried to, but the server forgot or didn't know that we were part of their section, so we kind of ended up sitting there for a while. We like chowed down on our food like as soon as we got it. We ordered as soon as we could, all that stuff, and we still ended up getting to church like 5 minutes late or whatever, but that was okay. It was kind of ambitious to try to go to brunch before church, but actually it wasn't brunch at that point, it was just breakfast. But yeah, no, so that was really good. Actually, it was really enjoyable to go out for breakfast before church. Might have to do that more often. But yeah, no, it was legitimately nice. I did have a great time, even though I was slightly stressed about getting to church on time. What else? I don't know. I don't know. I've kind of got nothing. So I'm just gonna go to bed. Shouldn't have stayed up this late. It's not that late. It's just I'd probably just be sitting in bed anyway. And at least I finished it. If I hadn't finished it yet, I wouldn't be able to sleep because I'd still be thinking about it. So anyway, I guess that's it.